trying to secure their top 16 spot to make it over to the first Super Weekend, as the playing path is going from the east over to the west. Pretty central across the map. Let's hope this Phase 1 circle compliments it, Max.
Megastars that won the first game of the day, that was on Erangel also. They did go for a drop towards Starboard/Kameshki because they were just not able to go over to Nova, which is their main dropping location. Yep. This time, at the start of the southeastern section, Megastars is free real estate over there on Novo.
Well, Froz was mentioned, at least with regards to the last game in Vikendi, of teams not really going for the center coming into late parts of the game. That was always a difficult area to play around when you're looking to go into center, but I still feel like teams need to be a little bit more aggressive or controlling of how they choose their own result and how they essentially play their end game, because if you're too passive, if you play too much on the end, you're actually giving your own result into the palm of the other team's hands. I
think also like the two games we had, like the one on Erangel and the one on Vikendi, like the circles were not really allowing you to go dead center, because if you did, a lot of teams had an angle on you. So I understand why teams maybe didn't decide to go for that. And talking about circles of the last few games, we have like almost the exact same Phase 1 circle of game number 1 today, and teams will be able to respond in according ways, maybe also fixed a few issues they had early on game number 1.
Now obviously one of the differences we do kind of see is that Megastars have chosen to go to Novo this time around as opposed to Milta, so they're going to have to make their way across the bridge in the early parts of the game, and Team IND choosing to go towards military base. But this is definitely a circle that will complement Morph Team in the early parts of the game. We saw them kind of join up together in the first game of the day when it was a similar circle. I hope they are a little bit more reactive coming into Phase 2, Phase 3.
Also, one thing you want to keep in mind is that you are not here, so that means no rotations away from Severny. So really here, TSM Entity up on the northern section of Yasnai Polyana, not going to have any rotations to deny, so they are just going to be having a calm early game in Yasnai Polyana, again, all that loot. But right now we're going to have King of Gamers Club and T1. This is not the fight we were really expecting going into this Imperium, but that's completely A-OK. King of Gamers Club, they got control on all of the lower section. Neonjung, a little bit further away, will have to cross the road. Hopefully will not get denied by King of Gamers Club on that rotation.
T1 can't seem to catch a break. They get contested by Valdis and Roshawk for the first couple of days. They kind of go, okay, look, you know what, we'll choose somewhere different. We'll let Roshawk go over to him. And now they're going right into the palm of the hands of King of Gamers. It's definitely not going to be easy, because even though Sidon is on the roof, that's always not a bad place to be. But when a couple of members are in the building below and you only have the shotgun, you're not really able to do anything with that. Now it's going to be up to the remaining 3 players of T1 to provide that level of support and, of course, cause that knockdown to come through.
Yeah, I think that here, definitely, T1, this is not currently their fight to win. Their loot has been very scarce compared to King of Gamers Club. They had most of the loot from this one respective compound, and most of the time, the loot in this compound is not enough for an entire team to get fully stacked and looted. But here it is, T1, they're going to be pushing down south of the compound, trying to find a nice entry point into the buildings, but they're going to be seeing the smokes. They get information as here we go. ZZP is going to be the first member of T1 taken down. 3v4 currently, as unfortunately ZZP is going to be flushed away by Bragas. Now he confirms it as a 4v3, and Saden's still trying to gather information. Even though he can't do much with that shotgun, he's given intel to the rest of his team on how they can potentially breach this. But even then, this is not a great early stage from T1, and if they could disengage, that'd be great. They have 2 buggies to do so.
And even if T1 kind of survived this, you can't help but think that the damage is done, right? They've lost ZZP, which we've noticed has been a pretty important part of T1 and their success in the games that they've played well. And at the end of the day, as the roof play is going to be coming out, the shotgun's coming through, and Bosa gets a knockdown.
Yeah, there you go. 1, 2. They're potentially looking for the third on Missile. I said it, they tried to try and disengage. Going with the buggy, that is not going to work out. Missile should be dead meat. We'll have to see. Will the spray connect? No way. Does Missile make it out of way? He does actually get a little bit further out, but unfortunately, I think they might have lost the wheel. He had to jump behind that tree right there, and that's just going to be sealing the fate of T1 as they're getting pushed heavily and very aggressively by King of Gamers Club. Concept going to be put pretty low. He's still got a scar, which is way better than what the rest of his team had in terms of loot, and they're just going to make their way. They have to send also players on the right side because they're making it really easy for Missile to really respond there, just peeking on the right side. But here you go. Gets shut down by Braga, and there you have it. T1 eliminated in 16th and last position.
Feels absolutely bad, man. T1 not having a good start, at least in The opening day, realistically, they were lying in 10th overall after playing one game and coming into his third game. It's their second game. They get wiped out in 16th place. But as we've seen kind of, you know, the circle kind of start to move in now, the teams are looking pretty strong positionally wise. I would say Freestyle, Synergy, and even Morph, who sent Zayas forward to get information, is really imperative and really important for Morph team to at least prepare for the next couple of phases.
Just mentioned Freestyle. I do really like the fact that Freestyle are a little bit split and a little bit spread in the middle there. They can rotate easily between all of their members in case a few teams come around. And also, that allowed them on game number 1 to get 6 kills in 6th position. It's the same circle. If it ain't broke, don't have to really fix it. So I'm pretty happy with Freestyle committing to that position.
Megastars did make their way successfully over the bridge into Milta, so at least that's kind of one hurdle they've crossed over. Avoiding BTR for now, they will be ahead of them. Looking to be more localized toward the center part of the circle. One team that I noticed they've adjusted their drop shot in some way, shape or form is TSM Entity choosing to go for a Yasnai, which has definitely complemented them, at least on the first Erangel game and even on this Erangel game.
Yeah, I mean, they're currently in circle. They went for the exact same drop on the first game. Is in circle, don't really have to move, and there's still a chance of having a northern rotation on phase 2, so you never know until the circle pops up. Gonna have Team Secret. They're currently doing a rotation very far over on the western side, rotating down south of Pachinki Hill, I do believe. Yeah, that is Pachinki Hill. They're actually getting on top of Pachinki Hill, and always that actually very on the edge. It's good to get information of teams in the circle. Imperium as a synergy, so they're going to get a few shots taken their way. I got the impression. Don't know who was shooting at them.
It was a member of Morph team that had done a little bit of scouting, ended up losing his life. And honestly, I kind of think that's okay. It's not ideal, right? But at least they know there's a team there and they can react. Or not even react, but they can be proactive on how they now play around the rotation coming into phase 2. They know that Synergy are right bang slap inside the log cabin area up on top of the hill. Of course, Box Gaming, RRQ coming through Potato Hill. Box Gaming a little bit to the south of him, so that's looking pretty good on RRQ's rotation. Yeah,
this location where the first game of Erangel on the day did end up around. It's been really interesting. Imperium, you know me, I hate that location. Reason why, around Prison, around that high ground mountain, there's always a high ground position to play around, and it's just very tricky to position yourself around, and I think that teams struggled heavily on that first game. So it's not great for the players. It's fun to watch though, because we're devils, we're demons, and we like seeing these players suffer.
Whoa. don't put me in the same boat.
Earlier we were saying the same thing, Imperium, on, like when we were watching, we were like, oh, that circle, that's so bad for the players, and you said, oh, I love it. Damn.
I am innocent. I'm an innocent human being. Leave me alone.
No, guilty until proven guilty. Wait, what?
But anyway, as Box Gaming looking to get shots onto Team Secret, Team Secret have done sweeping rotations relatively early in this game. On one hand, I really like it, but on the other hand, they're sweeping in with such little information that I worry it could go against them. But because they are doing it at basically as 4 vehicles, as 1 unit, at least they're going to be able to react in a much better way. They do find a compound on this side of the road. It's a very strong compound, I might add as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit on the low ground, so teams that do have the high ground around you,
for sure,
could take a few nice shots, but definitely you are safe for that time being. So at least I do like the fact that they were able to get that under control, because most of the time that compound is occupied by another team. So despite rotating so late, Team Secret pretty lucky on that one. TSM Entity, they already left Yasnai Pollyanna. They're already dead center, surrounded by a few teams, but they don't have the tippity top of the mountain, which could come and haunt them a little bit later on down the line.
And here's the thing, like, all the teams are reacting much better compared to game 1. They're more towards the center of the circle compared to the first game where TSM and D were in Mansion, let's say. They're all definitely being a lot better reactively compared to the first game and even the second game.
I think they're trying to predict the same circle shift as we had on the first game. This one actually going to be a little bit different. Shifts a little bit more heavily over to the eastern side. A lot of water going to be taken into play. Now the areas up north of Prison, more specifically, like Mansion, towards Mansion and Lipovka, could be a decent position to play around.
Honestly, that's a Chungus shift right there, to be honest.
Chungus all the time.
Because
it's like 50 times today.
Because it's a Chungus shift, I like saying that word. Leave me alone, just because I don't know anime references like you.
Okay, I'm not going to contest you on that one, Imperium, that's fine. But Reject Scarlet currently a little bit out of position. They rotated very late and they get intertwined with Team IND. Slayer's going to be surrounded by a few of their players. That's 420 OP. He's just going to make his way away from that one. They're going to get actually very close to No Chance's team, I'm not mistaken. Currently,
yeah,
it's a little bit of a mix-up. Like, they got a few players up north of Pochinki and a few players also down south. So hopefully not too much of a bit of hassle over there on the western side. And they'll be able to rotate out as we pan on over to Morph and Megastars.
Morph team inside the compound, but Megastar is looking to be a little bit more aware of heading towards the center part of the circle on that coastal line. But Morph team looking to choose to shoot up in that direction, with Mercy just kind of sending a message to Megastar saying, hey, watch out what's going on behind you, because we are ready to take you out.
Yeah, Megastars, they got the win on this kind of circle game one, so they know exactly how to play around this one to take the dub, to take that W, to get that chicken. I don't know, like, what other ways can you say of, like, taking the game? I don't know, there's so many different ways of going for it. We could go for absolute hours. But yeah, Megastars, decent position. They're playing on the coastline, which I like there, because you only have to focus on, like, 180 degrees of land. Don't really have to focus on what's in the water.
Yep.
So I'm personally completely okay with Megastars, and they can also, because they have a high ground, take a few shots towards Morph if ever they got a few opportunities available at them.
I think the team that reacted most to that circle shift from TSMNT, they sent themselves, you know, a little bit up north, but not too much that's right by the coastline. It is on that kind of high compound, looking over Lipovka and even the mansion area, so it's really nicely placed for them to get a strong result. BTR yet to really step up in the first league day, right? They came into the seeding weekend, showed everybody how it was done, showed up on Erangel, but in these first two games, has everybody caught up with them? Have they exposed their strategy too much that everybody's able to react to it? Of course, time will tell.
Time will tell. They're definitely playing a little bit different on this one, playing very on the edge in Milto, which normally they like to try and aim a little bit more central if they have the opportunity to do so. So let's hope and see it will be okay for this team. Let's go over to Valdus, the Murder, having a little bit of an angle on Freestyle. Freestyle, you know, I'm pretty happy with what they've been able to do on this first day of the league play. Hopefully that'll be just the first few good games of many going into this.
Now, of course, they're in the Walmart. We call it Walmart because it looks like a great big gigantic supermarket, right? But it's always a hard building to disengage from, because the second you leave it, you're right out in the open. Unless you have 3-4 vehicles, there's a really high chance you can lose a body. So they're really they're kind of praying to the PUBG Mobile gods that the circle shifts to the west on phase 3, which it would make sense because there's still a good 30-40% of water in play.
We're going to be seeing right now, we're going to be panning over to the map. Perfect timing, as you mentioned, at Imperium. Well, let's see, 3, 2, 1, and it's actually going to be going over. Milta Power still in that position. Lipovka also, but now the position where Megastars, like, it's absolutely stonks. Their position went from, like, you know, pretty valuable to extremely valuable. And now if they just hold on to that position, they can shut down North. They can also get rid of Team Secret, RRQ Athena, even TSM Entity as they try and rotate next to the coastline. This is a huge win for Megastars, just aiming for that position, and is rewarded on phase 3.
It definitely is. Now, of course, there's a lot of risk still to it, because we still have 15 teams, 58 players, so anything can happen, and it's only phase 3. But as you see, no chance team on the high ground overlooking freestyle, but both these teams are outside the circle, so they're going to have to try and find a way in. No chance team being the first to make their way in. Now, no chance team, they've been a team that have been able to be pretty successful on the edge of the circle. Let's see if they can make it count. As looking on the kill feed, Team Secret losing a player to Valdus.
Yeah, RQ Athena also trying to get a little bit involved in this one, but yeah, Valdus, the Murder. RJ going to be put pretty low. They're going to have to push their way away from Prison, and Prison, I don't like going for that position. Reason why disengaging from Prison is just an absolute, like, it's just insanely hard to pull off. I don't know what word I was going to try and use there, because it's just, I wanted to find a proper objective, but there's nothing that shows how hard it is to rotate away from that location. A few nice shots coming out from No Chance towards King of Gamers Club. We're not going to result in anything knock-wise just yet.
But here's the thing, you got King of Gamers Club coming right in between Orange Rock and Team IND, so it's going to be a 3-way fight, and then you have RQ and Valdus further inside the circle, maybe overlooking them. That's going to be very, very risky to play around. That's where we're seeing on the kill feed, RQ punishing King of Gamers, and then of course Orange Rock punishing Team IND.
And Team IND, they are very close to getting themselves into the circle, but not there quite yet. A lot of teams currently holding all of the north, even potentially the western side of the circle, so there's no easy entry point. They might have to just force and pry their way through into this phase 3 circle. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be very nicely done from Team IND. They're going to have to try their best, but yeah, they are not in control of this game so far.
Once again, TSM Entity have reacted to the phase 3 circle, shifting themselves a little bit down south by the side of the road in a more central position inside. The circle is down the bottom of the hill, so if the circle shifts to the west and they have to climb their way up, in my opinion, that's a little bit easier than climbing your way down coming into the late stages of the game. Freestyle now shifting down the south, coming in, going right close to Reject's box, and even Morph, and then Synergy on the southwest edge of the circle with Team Secret ahead of them.
While we're looking at Team IND and King of Gamers Club, you might think that like King of Gamers Club, they're controlling Team IND if they get yes or no into the circle. But even King of Gamers Club, they're in a world of trouble because they've got a few teams on the other side of the road. They could eventually get taken down pretty soon down the line. As we pan on over to Freestyle, the team you were just mentioning right there, they're going to get pretty close to Reject Scarlet in the distance. Taking a few suppressing fires there with the DP. Pretty good range to play with around the DP for Kashuf, but they got 2 members knocked away. This is not looking great for them, but they still have a few dips and trees to play around. They could still heal up from their wounds.
And this circle indeed does shift down to the southwest, right into the palm of the hands of Synergy, Team Secret, and even TSM Entity, who now hold on the eastern side of the circle all to themselves. RQ Athena coming right close by as Valdez punishes them on the rotation.
And now Team Secret, I mean, they got dead center of the circle right now. Even though the high ground is going to be a little bit of an interesting position. High ground so far to the advantage of Synergy, but Team IND, they come in to contest that position right now. They're going to go for that push. A few nice shots towards Slayer at a distance, but Shrider unfortunately not quite able to get those bullets to go in the dip. But the circle is definitely going to be very intriguing because Team IND are going to have to push forward. And I love how Austin Bot is trying to reposition there, trying to create different angles of pressure on Team IND. They got to be very cautious because every peek in position could allow Austin Box to get that one initial knockdown.
I see RQ, TSM Entity. The grenades are being thrown out by Jonathan. This is the game that really TSM need to really pick it up. Yeah. Game 1 in Erangel, they got 6.5 now coming from kills alone. They didn't play in game 2, so this is their second game of the day in Erangel once again.
Let's not forget, because over the course of these 2 days, today and tomorrow, you want to get in the top 16. If you're not in the top 16, you're not going to do the super weekend. So you need to try and get those good results right now because you only got 2 days to really have an impact. And if you just, unfortunately, have a bad first day, catching up on another 50% is going to be extremely hard.
G9 gets knocked down from RQ Athena. Now, because they are still a full squad, it leaves them up with 3 members. But on the northern tip of the circle, Orange Rock are coming in to join in on the fun and third party. Orange Rock looking so strong. They're currently on top of the leaderboard. Let's see if they can at least help increase their chances of holding on to the top spot.
They're trying their best to push in, but they're getting denied by RRQ Athena. RRQ Athena, that so far has been having some pretty good results, especially that first game where they got 3rd position with 10 kills, double digits on the very first game. They are popping off so far, but they're thinking about repositioning, which I understand because they're on the edge. They're not really setting themselves up for phase 5, so they need to think about it, and here it is. They're going to rotate forward, but unfortunately, one partner control, 1-2 knockdowns going over to TSM Entity, and Orange Rock also trying to assist it, and the pressure of these 2 teams is just going to be too much for RRQ Athena to deal with. They only got 1 player remaining on their side. It's going to be D2E. Can he make it out alive? I don't think so. I think he's just going to be pinpointing down there.
Scout was just so precise with those DP28 shots, and that is the trouble of rotating in the vehicle this late stage of the game. You're going to get spot out, you're going to get shot up. Now as Orange Rock, they look to try and make their way forward. Viru in that US going to do a little bit of scouting, maybe look for the last player of D2E, as TSM Entity under a little bit of fire.
And a little bit, I mean, like a lot of fires. Seagull's going to be knocked away. The Raiders should potentially come out because they do have a 2-2 split. I would say they've got to try and maybe reposition himself a little bit more as a cluster, but D2E still trying his best, taking a few damage from Orange Rock. But Orange Rock, at least, they did the hardest part, right? The really big issue for them was RQ Athena. Yep. Now they will get taken down to now only 1 player. As I say that, unfortunately, Megastar's taken out in 15th position despite your chicken dinner early on Erangel. They will not be getting a second Erangel game of the day for themselves.
They still had 2 fantastic games so far, so having 1 bad result in the day isn't the worst thing in the world. As Box Gaming clashing together with BTR. They do have 1 member of BTR now coming in to provide that level of support. That's lucky, and as the circle shifts up, it centers to the east, right right into the palm of the hands of TSMNT, who are on that low ground. Lots of area around them. They can now control this phase.
Circle is going to be on the slope. You know that slope endings are not fun to play as a player, but here it is. Grenades galore coming out from Box Gaming, trying to get this shut down. They do get Duelo. Can they get another player of Reject Scarlet? That's question again straight for Sarah, trying to get the suppressing fire right there. It's going to be a little bit hard. Those smokes are definitely buying quite a lot of time, but put down to about 1/3 HP for Sarah, actually half HP right there. But here it is. They want to commit for the push. Sarah will get eliminated there.
Nice.
And there you go. The flush comes on through, and still Reject Scarlet have two other players a little bit further away in the distance, so they did put their eggs in 2 baskets. 1 basket will remain alive.
Box Gaming did a great job of using those smokes to give a little bit more freedom to the 2 of their players that were on the kind of the high ground of that hill to provide that level of support and that level of vision. Really great split play from Reject Scarlet.
Now, Box, they gotta just go uphill. They got a lot of teams that have an angle on them, especially that's gonna be Bigetron. You're gonna be having also Freestyle have one member really high up there on the mountaintop, but now Synergy back onto their position. They're one of the teams that have to fight for the position of Team Secret. They have to make it down, but Team Secret, they take in 2 fights at the same time, actually even potentially 3 fights, with Freestyle also no chance over there. But as there you go, Reject Scarlet taken out, eliminated in 13th position. 12 teams will still be remaining in this one, but Synergy finally, they're gonna be starting to take some really big hits right here. And Servy's got to try and join the party, because otherwise this team might go down pretty soon. But especially the pressure applied by Team ID a little bit high up north of their position is really hurting them.
I love the fact that no chance of kind of avoid the Team Secret, only taking a couple of tickle of the shots of Synergy and Team IND clash up together. Nice spray coming out from Synergy.
Now we got the fights that's going to be happening, especially on phase 6, and we're going to be seeing that one. That's when the big boy fight's going to be happening, and Val does the murder get taken out. And also another squad that will be followed suit. That'll be Team IND, down to 10 teams remaining in the 3rd game of the day. This is huge, as Synergy still trying to heal up on their wounds. Shredder will still get knocked away. They're still looking for information, but Team Secret just holding that position on the west just so damn well. They have no opportunities of pushing forward. Synergy are just pinned down.
And just like that, we're down to 8 teams. King of Gamers, Morph team eliminated like that at the drop of a hat. You gotta look at this circle, the TSMNT right towards the northeast, which Orange Rock to a little bit to the north, and that's looking pretty good for those 2 teams as all the action rages on. Synergy and Team Secret clash up.
Synergy, they had to breach it eventually, and here it is. It's the time to engage, but unfortunately for them, Team Secret seems to have the upper hand. It's going to be Austin Box taking a 1v2. Has to reload there with the AK. He's going to get pushed on the side. Nice shutdown from Yuhai, and there you go. Team Secret will pick up their 3rd kill of this game so far. 7 teams now remaining. Synergy, they had to push. It was just a little bit too late, and it was going to be a hard push. We knew it. It was just not going to happen.
Still great by Team Secret to really see them, you know, step up coming into this 3rd game of the day. They've been a little bit lackluster, so now is their time to shine. As Box Gaming onto Freestyle. Malik trying to hold on the edge of the circle. It's going to be closing on in the next 30 seconds. Let's see if they can get the heal off. But Box Gaming going for the squad. Right, take the bodies off the lobby, create more space on the southern tip of this circle.
They don't want to get involved. They just want to chuck some grenades, make things a little bit easier for them. Break's going to go for that nade. Will it connect? I'm not too sure. It will not get anything extra done, unfortunately. They can't really push this easily. The circle is actually just wrapping around one portion of that building. They can't push that one too heavily, so they've got to rethink how they're going to be engaging this one. But currently almost no teams in circle, no chance are barely in there, but right now it's a slope ending, and it's never fun. The first team to get himself in the circle are going to get shot from all directions. This is not easy for anyone involved.
This is where you got to have as much utility as you can in your backpack. Those smokes, though, even those flashbangs and even the grenades, just to create that space, everything is so imperative coming into the late stages of this open field ending. Up and down the hill, the teams are located. 7 left, 21 players as BTR hold on as a full squad.
And Bigetron, they're going to try and get their entry point down south on the eastern side. They're going to be on the low ground section of the circle. It's not going to make things very easy, but Orange Rock, they'll get taken out. Also in 6th position. Now finally down to top 5 teams in this game. They're going to be having also Team Secret that just barely got taken away of this game. So now Box, they're going to make it also down the south. This is a big cluster of teams down south. How will they make it happen? Because Freestyle, they have the high ground on this fight. They can make things happen to their advantage, but I don't think they really want to fully push on Box Gaming because that man advantage, they just don't have it right now.
And now we see Clutch God knocking on the door of BTR and saying, hey, Ryzen, we're here. You're down and out, but Zuxi returns fire and says, hey, anything you can do, we can do better.
Checking out also TSM Entity. We had like 2 drops actually coming out down center. That could be actually a really good amount of help for Freestyle and also for Box Gaming if they try and push and hide behind it. Because now Car's not going to be a very common kind of resource available for these teams to create compounds in the center. So we'll see if they got that available for themselves. But now it is circle about to be closed up. Circle number 7 is about to be on our fees. That's going to be the deciding factor. Whichever team that shifts towards, they're going to be having a huge advantage. Even if they have the low ground, it could be TSM Entity taking this one also.
If TSM can use that low ground to get the better of BTR, maybe, but no, it's just becoming too much. This is BTR. This is the reigning world champions. You give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile, Max.
Up to 7 kills so far. They're looking for more. They are thirsty for blood, especially for TSM Entity's blood, that's for sure. And his grenades, utility will come out, the car will explode. That's going to create a little bit of courage now, making it even easier for BTR to push upon TSM Entity. Neo just going to be on the very edge of that circle, followed up also with Zigo. They're going for the random sprays, but they get scouted out, losing 1. Zigo will be left alone as a 1v4, but the Res and Micro Boy will have to come out. I don't think they're fully ready to commit on this one. They want to try and get the Res up for sure. Grenade will come from behind. Micro Boy going to be put pretty damn low, but they get it done still. The pressure on Zigo will not be relieved just yet, but the circle went actually up north on the western side for No Chance. They are controlling this game right now.
Oh, No Chance, that's what you've got, says BTR to TSM Entity as they look for the remaining player. Coming through, Malik gets taken out. That's the end of Freestyle. We're into the final. 4 teams, No Chance, looking to gain control. Box Gaming, TSM and BTR, all outside of the circle is the uphill area. And the spread of No Chance team, is it going to be them spreading themselves too thinly? Or do they have now the full control as Zuxi comes in, takes down Z-God, and sends a message to the Indian team?
Yeah, TSM Entity, 4th position. 3 teams now remaining, but I like it. Reason why? Now No Chance, they taking control. They have the circle. They're very spread though, which could be a little bit of an issue for them. But they gather so much information. They see Break, the last member of Box Gaming over there, taking a few nice shots with DM16, but unfortunately not going to result in a knockdown just yet as he's going for Heineken and could look also for the flash. He wants to get every single kill he might get. But Bigetron, 9 kills, looking for a double-digit kill count. The 2 first games, not quite there, but this is their breaking point.
And Offdales gets confirmed by Ryzen. That's going to be the double-digit kill that you talked about. And this is what I feared about No Chance. They had themselves spread out, but 2 players knocked down. That leaves them with just now 1 player opposite. Down goes Box Gaming. It is going to be BTR against No Chance. This is going to be BTR looking to try and close out this game. But Godless trying to hold on. The grenades are going to be firing through. The shots from a distance. BTR want to close this out.
Even with Heineken being knocked away, can still gather some information over to the rest of his team. Godless is going to go down to the blue zone, denied an extra point away from Bigetron. And there you have it. Bigetron. Didn't know where they won the 2 first game, but we know where they are right now because that's chicken dinner worthy as they secure it. Double-digit kill count also. That is huge.